Hello, everyone, and welcome to the third episode of VinTalks. We have someone who has done some commendable work in the field of education. Let's get up and listen to what she has to say about leadership, the risks that she has taken, and the career path that she has gone through. Before we dive right in to listening to her story, let's just have a brief intro about her. Dr. Gayathri was formerly the Deputy Director and Professor of Marketing at STM IMD Mysore. She has more than 35 years of experience as an educator, trainer, and academic administrator in the field of management and is a recognized guide for the PhD program in management by the University of Mysore. In her experience, Gayathri was associated as an adjunct faculty with the reputed Indian Institute of Management Kozhikode, IIMK, HAL Management Academy, Bengaluru, as well as a resource person with Staff Training College of SBM. She is a licensed NLP practitioner and has conducted more than 250 training programs globally for corporates in the area of business negotiation, marketing, self-empowerment, and leadership influencing skills. These being her core areas of interest. She has associated with various companies in market research studies, helped them in developing strategic marketing plans, and has taken up consulting assignments. Dr. Gayathri has not only published numerous articles in national and international journals on marketing studies, sales promotional strategies, and leadership skills, but has also presented her papers and addressed the conference participants in India and abroad. Besides, Dr. Gayathri has to her credit of editing books, developing case studies on management and marketing, as well as published book reviews in the Economic Times newspaper. Welcome to VinTalks, Dr. Gayathri, and I've been waiting for so long to get in touch with you and have this conversation. The very first time I actually met you was in your office, and I just then started my career at Vinyas. And we had a conversation about many things. I was talking to you about what I face at work and what are the challenges. And then there was one thing that stuck with me for I think really long, and I still abide by it. You said take control. I don't remember, or I do remember the context in which we were talking to you about, because I'd very much kind of given up on, doing things and saying that, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. And then I was talking to my colleague and I was like, I think I have to go talk to her again. This is not just one thing that she has that has made her so successful in her career. So Dr. Gayathri, what has actually helped you, or the one binding thing that has helped you, or more than one binding thing that has helped you in your career and helped you reach this success?
Thank you, Ms. Deepashree, for inviting me for this talk. It's my pleasure to be a part of this process. Well, it's been a journey, if you ask me, when it comes to this career of mine. Mm-hmm. I was very keen to get into the corporate world.
Oh, wow.
I was fascinated with advertising, actually. But God willed it otherwise. I was on family way.
Okay.
So one thing which I thought I should do is not keep myself, idle.
Mm-hmm.
So I decided to take up part-time teaching.
Okay.
So the story begins there. The minute I got into teaching, I never realized it is such a wonderful feeling that I got.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this is what I should be doing the rest of my life. I got that feeling in the very beginning of my teaching career.
Mm-hmm.
So Well, I've spent 35 years
Wow.
in teaching. And first and the foremost thing is I'm very ambitious.
Mm-hmm.
For me, dreaming big came naturally. Though I don't express it too much, but it's always working on my mind,
Yeah.
telling me to do what and what not. So the fact that I was ambitious and dreaming big, I was ready to learn.
Yeah.
I think that was the biggest, advantage I had when it comes to my career. I was open for learning. The fact that I was ready to learn helped me take up responsibilities.
Sense.
Okay. Because learning and taking up responsibilities are, I think, two sides of a coin. The reason is without learning, responsibilities don't come that easily to an individual.
Yes.
So it came naturally to me and I was ready to take up the responsibility. So along with teaching, one of the things I was asked is to take up administrative responsibility,
Okay.
which I have seen most people don't like to do it.
Absolutely.
They don't like to wear two caps together.
Yeah.
Okay, they either want to get aligned to academics. Very few want to get into administration.
Yes.
But I was ready for that challenge, took up. And the fact that I took up the challenge, things like, focusing on academics, parallelly balancing administration was a big challenge because I'm new to this field and I wanted to ensure things don't go wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
And one advantage I enjoyed was, especially on the academic side, I was exposed to a lot of faculty from IIM Bangalore. Because when we started the institute, we had a lot of them supporting our academic activities. So that helped me to fine-tune myself with respect to how to manage academics. So that is one thing. Second thing is, as a person, I love challenges. For me, if there is no challenges, the whole thing is dull.
You're the very first person I'm hearing of face who loves challenges.
Actually, challenges energizes me.
Okay.
The minute I am energized, I go all out to find solutions for whatever it is. It could be academics or administration. So I go all out, find solutions and put things in place.
Okay.
I suppose these factors, along with never die attitude of mine, I think has brought me this far. And I have enjoyed every single day.
When I spoke to you and, when you just spoke to me about the things that, helped you, and these were the mantras, or, the never let go of things, take up challenges. Do you think there are some more factors, or do we have certain things that we can say are the requirement for, say, a leadership skill? Like back when I was in MBA college, like we had a session on leadership, and it was compulsory for us to sit through it. And this person who was teaching us, the professor, he was like, leaders are not born, they're made, but I can identify leaders when I look at them. So is there like a 101 book that Dr. Gayathri has to, leadership? Or do you have some mantras to give out to say these are the things that are needed for a successful leadership? Or there's nothing called a successful leadership?
When it comes to leadership, I think there are some ground rules. However, I feel it's got to do a lot with the individuals. For example, if you ask me, first and the foremost thing when it comes to the way I handled my career, I've always been a solution-oriented person. Okay? So, whenever there is a problem, either academics, administrative, or students related, whatever that may be, I'm very composed. It doesn't put any pressure on me. The reason is I have that mindset for to find a solution. That's why I said I'm a solution-oriented person.
Yes.
I may take a day or two, however, I'll come back with solution. So I think that is one thing which gave me a lot of comfort throughout my career. The second thing is I walk my talk. When I say walk my talk, I'll just give you simple examples.
Yes.
If my session starts at 9, I make sure that I'm in the classroom by 8:55.
Wow.
Every single day. There may have been an occasional one. It could be for some reason. I don't remember, but there could be. But I'm ready to apologize for the student without giving any reasons. But that is one aspect when I say, walking the talk. The second thing is academic disciplines are very important for a successful career.
Okay.
Whether it is offering new courses, meeting academic requirements like case studies or publication, whatever that may be, training, corporate training, all these things. So, unless I do, I can't impose. So, I was always ahead. I would make sure if I have to handle this many courses, I'll handle and show it to others. Say, if I can do it, you can do it.
Can do it.
Simple logic.
Yes.
So, that is another aspect which helped me. The third thing is I'm open for feedback. I have no block in my mind at all. Whether it's coming from colleagues
Okay.
or even student community, I never hesitate to take the feedback. My only mantra for feedback is, if there is any truth, make those corrections. There is no truth, let go.
Let go.
So it doesn't bother me. Feedbacks never trouble me, or, I don't have to be anxious,
Perturbed by it.
Yeah,
or-
absolutely.
yeah.
So that is another thing. Apart from that, straightforwardness has been a part of my personality throughout my life.
Okay.
I've seen a lot of people shy away from saying a no
Yes.
in most situations. I do not know whether I should say they want to be seen as good, not to be seen.
Invariably, yes.
Okay. However, that did not affect me. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
If I believe that a situation warrants for me to say no
Yeah.
or stand up for that particular issue,
Sure. Yeah.
I have always done it.
Yeah.
Momentarily, it may affect the individuals, it could be student or whoever it is. However, in the long run,
Yeah.
I've seen it converted into a lot of respect,
Yes.
because people know you are doing it across all people, all situations, without any bias.
It's not specifically towards someone.
Yes. If the student situation arises and I need to see from their perspective, I'm ready to see.
Yeah.
But if I realize that that is not a good thing in the interest of the entire system, I would say no. Maybe the entire team may get upset. It doesn't matter. I have to take a decision to ensure that the organization is, on the go without any problems.
It's not stuck to a point where, just because you said yes, and then it leads to something else. Invariably, all of us struggle with that. I struggle with saying no a lot, many times. And it becomes a pattern where you're stuck with just saying yes. And the day you make the shift, like you're worried about people thinking, oh my God, I just said it. What are they going to think about this? Are they going to judge you? Is it just this one person who's going to look at me and say, like, you said no, so what? But I think this is so important for all of us to incorporate saying no as a regular thing.
Yes.
This.
Absolutely. Whenever a situation demands, we need to be ready to say no.
Yeah.
And we need not worry about the consequences, because we know in the long run, in the interest of all the stakeholders, it will always be beneficial.
Beneficial, yes.
The other thing is I'm also flexible. Flexibility helps from various perspectives. One, it opens up our mind for learning. As I mentioned earlier, you are ready to learn. And flexibility helps look at from various perspectives and also find alternative solutions.
Yeah.
Only when you have flexibility. Otherwise, we get stuck with only one solution. There's nothing like one solution. We can always have alternative solutions.
Yes.
Finding alternative solutions can happen only when your mind is a little flexible.
True.
Okay. So I think these are some things which I would say many people might have followed as a part of their journey. For me, these have been valuable in my journey.
And it has been a must, and something that has shown like, these are the basics of what is needed.
Absolutely.
There are more, I'm sure there are like 101 other things, but I think very clearly these make up the basis of everything else that we have. Like everything, all the other mantras or whatever we call would probably stem out of these basics.
Very true.
And we implement them in different ways. Could be a no, could be taking some time to think about it and coming up with a solution. Need not be a no instantly, but they could be like, I have to still say a no, but then I come up with taking time, figuring things out and say, okay, this does not make sense. Let's not go ahead with it.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely right.
You said you're someone who, takes decisions and who is okay in, like, I would say taking risks. Like it demands the positions that you have been in, you've taken risks. It's not that it just comes out of like, let's take the most peaceful way of doing something, or, the right way of doing something. I don't think there is a right way of doing something. There is a way to do something, and then probably it could be right or wrong, but that's taking a risk. Have you, or do you think there are risks that you have taken in your professional career, and what has that risk taught you?
Okay. I think I would like to put the word risk and challenging both into the same basket.
Okay.
Or may not be. I'm not too sure. However, the reason why I'm saying that is somewhere they are connected. Risks and challenges. One of the first things I did when it comes to my career was I was very clear that I need to have some kind of a balance between my personal life and my professional life.
Okay.
That's one big thing, because what I had seen is a lot of people would carry their personal, life into their professional life, and professional life into their personal life.
Okay.
I think that to a very large extent not only disturbs but upsets the performance of an individual.
True.
So I did one important thing. I said I need to shut my personal life the minute I walk out of my home.
Okay.
And only my profession comes into the picture.
Okay.
The same happens at the end of the day. Close the door of professional life and then focus on personal. Having said that, there is always a window open.
Yes.
Okay, if my family needs or my profession needs, I'm there for them.
Okay.
what I did was to balance this. I had heard a lot of stories where it could be parents or in many cases young children, losing out on their parents not being around.
Okay.
So one important thing I did was, they were very young, my children. I would sit down with them and tell them why I need to have a career,
Okay.
how important it is to me. Okay, particularly first it was me,
Yeah.
and also told them how important it is to the family.
Okay.
One of the things I told them was, look, I've now educated, I've done this, all these things. I said, what's the point if I'm just at home?
Yeah.
I need to make a career. I need to contribute to it, my profession.
Yeah.
I think even though they were young, the fact that you're opening up with the young kids, my feeling is, children are very, very intelligent.
Absolutely.
They accept it. You may think I'm exaggerating, but I never had a single day where there were issues when it comes to my children.
Wonderful.
Whether it's from the school or with the other kids when they had to be with them. I told you that window which is always open. Though the doors were closed, the window was always open.
Yes.
So if there is any issue, I would always tell my family, it could be my parents, my husband or children, any emergency, if you can't reach me, just call the landline and tell them it's emergency. I would be there for you. That confidence and the trust you build it to them,
Yeah.
I think matters most.
Absolutely.
And the same thing I implemented with my profession. I would tell them any time of the day, you're most welcome. You would be surprised if I tell you, people think academics is a very peaceful area.
Easy.
Very easy and peaceful.
Yeah.
Easy is the right word. I agree with you. But then I would get a call at around 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, administrative issues.
Okay.
You are dealing with young kids. I can't say that, at this hour I don't want to
Solve this.
Yes. Then immediately connect to all the concerned, see what to do, how to handle issues, talk to the concerned kid. All this would happen midnight. My family would not know, other students would not know, nor would my colleagues know about it.
Yeah.
This was the reality, and I think that was very well received on both the sides. Okay, that's one thing. Second thing is, another thing about risk or challenge in this profession is, when you have today we have hundreds of students on campus.
Yes.
It's not easy to manage,
Absolutely.
and there will be a lot of emotional breakdowns with the student community.
Yeah.
Enormous. Some because of their previous experiences, some ongoing on the campus. Maybe they are unable to cope up with the academic requirements, or it could be personal because the age is such that.
Yeah.
Managing their emotions was another big challenge. And here I want to stress on that word risk.
Okay.
Because you don't know what they will do when you advise them, whether they take it in the right way. Because emotionally, when they are completely a wreck, it is a big challenge for somebody to handle them.
Handle them. Yeah.
And I had one policy with the student community. I used to tell them, you can walk in any time. Otherwise, they would not just walk into the cabins. If they have a problem, I told them they can just walk into my cabin anytime. Apart from that, I would tell them my course outline has my mobile number. Emergency, don't hesitate, call me. I was open about it. I said, midnight, you can call me.
Okay.
Not that they called me, but then they had that
The
comfort.
comfort level. Yeah.
But then handling them drains out a lot of energy. Because if one student has a problem, bringing them to normalcy would take easily around 3 months, 4 months. And each time you're sitting they are highly negative and emotionally tone. Managing them for an hour or two drains out our energy.
Yes.
I did it and went well with the the student community. The other thing was being a woman. One of the biggest challenges is can you travel?
Yes.
Especially because in a management school, placements are an important aspect of the program.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I never hesitated. That's why I said, I was ready to take the responsibilities, and I've traveled across, met companies, met their MDs in some cases, and general managers, depending upon, whom I wanted to connect. And then one thing I realized is when you're sincere, they are open for to listen to you. I have been complimented by some of the best, corporate executives for one thing they always would say, we did not know about the institute, nor you.
Okay.
But then we gave you appointment, we forgot about it. And the appointment was at 10 o'clock, but you were in our office at 9:45. My secretary told me, and unbelievable, you come from Mysore.
Anyway.
You're here.
Yeah.
Unlike, many other appointments where they have, especially if you go to Bangalore or Mumbai.
You won't make it.
Traffic is such a mess.
Yes.
So that is the satisfaction I have, because I took up that, challenge to travel, risk to travel alone.
Yes.
That I have the satisfaction when it comes to
your career.
Yes.
I think the biggest takeaway for me is from the fact that communication. Everything that you do or the risk you take is about communicating, be it your family, where you spoke about, you just sat them down. I think quite rare that we find any parent, sitting children down and telling them, this is my career, it's important, this is what I have done. I'm sure there was a way you did it. It wasn't like, career is important for me, so you guys have to listen to it. It was a process. And, it was a slow process where you explained to them why this is important for me and for the family, for us all together. And I'm sure they've imbibed the same now with their children. They would have done the same thing where they would have sat down. My mom did it. I'm sure I'm going to do the same thing with you all. And biggest takeaway, risk management equal to communication. Communicate well. Second is, I think through communication, you were able to build that trust with them.
Yes.
And if that is not there, trust is not there, be it, say, your family or your students, it becomes difficult, because why should I listen to you just because, you're deputy director or you're a principal or you're my mother? Why? I should have some level of trust with you. And it came with the honesty that, you were being honest. And you were not like saying that, this is how it has to be done. And, talking about, say, honesty and trust and communication, I'm sure all these factors help with the risk that you took. But do you think that the position that you have reached, like when you ended the career with, I think that's a very wrong way of putting it, but I think when you took a break or you decided to move forward from that career as a deputy director at SDMIMD, when you were within the system to reach that position, was it difficult for women in administration or say in the education sector? Because largely I see there are a lot of men in, say, schools, teachers, principals, administration. They say men do a better job. Was it difficult for you to reach that position where you had a board seat and you were there and you were the deputy director, and it's not something small? What is it that, was it easy or were there challenges? I'm sure there were challenges. And how did you go about that?
Okay. Well, when a woman has to achieve to the top management positions, definitely there are challenges even today.
Okay.
However, I would like to say it's a lot better than what it was earlier.
Okay.
The reason I am saying this is women are now performance oriented.
Yes.
They deliver results. They are contributing to the strategic directions of the organizations.
Yes.
So you can't just let go when you have all the qualities you look for in a leader. If that's already there, you know, an organization cannot look the other side.
Absolutely.
However, you know, this slight bias of women need to prove, and if men have the potential being promoted, I think it's still happening
Even today.
even today. When it comes to my career, I was fortunate because, as I said in the beginning, you know, I took up both the responsibilities of academic and administration. Later on, there are a couple of very senior professors who said, you know, when you get stuck with the administration, do you really want to do it? But then that was already fixed in my mind. I said, I will manage both. I think I was delivering results. Probably that paved way for my promotions.
Okay.
And it's been a very good journey, and I've enjoyed it every single day.
We spoke so much about leadership, career, and leadership mantras, risk, and all this. Now, just shifting subjects. Let's talk about our education system. What do you think, you know, has been like our education system at the moment? You are in the system. You continue to be in the system. Probably you're not in the system in the sense of teaching students in an environment that is either a college or a school, but now you're teaching professionals. Your thoughts about our education system on the whole, and how do you keep us all engaged? We find it so difficult that, you know, our span to sit through something has completely gone down because information is available so easily. How do we engage students or these corporate professionals to sit through something?
Okay. Gone are the days when a teacher would walk in with a textbook or a notes, you know, and address the students.
Okay.
I think that may not happen anymore.
Okay.
You know, there may be still some practicing, but that may not keep the students engaged. Reality today in the education system is, you know, as you rightly mentioned, the technology is disrupting everything, including the way teachers teach. Okay? So, what's happening is at the tip of their finger, they have the information.
Yeah.
So, unless a teacher is ahead of the student, it becomes very important. It becomes very difficult.
Okay.
What do I mean by being ahead? You know, it's not sufficient for you to be conceptually well informed. What is important and relevant from whether it is students or professionals, I need to know what is happening in that industry.
Okay.
Let me give you an example. For a couple of years, I was training HL employees.
Okay.
And they were coming from different parts of the country with experience of anywhere around 5 years to maybe 20, 25 years.
Okay.
You know, the kind of exposure they have, it's amazing. If I go and talk to them about some concept, one important thing is it doesn't matter. They can find it anywhere.
Absolutely.
The same with the student community.
Yes.
What is my mantra is, I try and know as much as possible about their industry first.
Okay.
if I do not know their industry and what that company is doing, I can never connect to the audience. I cannot connect, let alone they connecting to me. First, I need to connect.
Yes.
So that was one thing. As a part of my profession, I have always done my homework. Okay, so, and I speak the most recent things about that company and the industry, not 10 years back.
Okay.
10 years back, the students not interested.
Yeah.
Or the audience is not. So I need to speak the most recent, maybe 2 years back, 3 years back, about that company or about that industry. If I do not want to mention about that company, about that industry.
Yeah.
I think that's, is very important, and that change need to be accepted by everyone. To keep the audience or the students on the other side engaged, my mantra is, one, always take the case studies to be a part of your teaching process.
Okay.
When I say case studies, I'm sure everybody knows today. All cases are available on the net. There's as analysis are also available on the net.
Yeah.
So if I give a case which is already published and ask them to analyze, they'll bring out and say the learning will be zero. Their involvement will also be zero.
Correct.
So I decided I need to change this whole thing. So I started writing a case on my own, which was not available in the various sources.
Yeah.
So my agenda was not for publication.
Okay.
My agenda was to make sure that I bring that learning process into the classroom. I started writing cases, frame questions, and one way to get the students engaged, especially when I talk about students, I would ask them to, if anybody is interested, you can, associate with me with the case writing. That excitement was always there among the students. Of course, there were one or two, we would sit down, work on it. When you take it to the classroom, they don't have that case anywhere else. They don't have ready-made answers.
Yes, yeah.
So that would keep them engaged every single day. Okay. The second thing is, even in the professional forum, one major thing I do is I tell them, stop me any point, ask me questions. Because if it is one-sided, you're not driven the point. I always believe, unless there are questions and clarifications from the other side, there's no learning taking place. So I encourage that. In fact, in many forums, I tell them, please stop me, ask questions. If you disagree, also stop me and tell me why, so that I'll, give my perspective to it. So I think these things have helped me manage getting the audience and students engaged always. And it's been a journey which is very fulfilling because I know that they were involved and engaged
In the class.
session. And my idea is, if they can have one or two takeaway from my session, that's good enough.
You spoke about the future is nowadays the teachers just cannot go with books and it's going to be technology. I mean, we're already, what am I talking about future? We are in the usage of technology. The buzzword AI is something that's there all around. We talk about it being good, it being bad. Your thoughts on AI in our education system? Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Is it being used?
Well, I would say it's both good and bad.
Okay.
Bad because, especially from the student community point of view, I'm saying,
Okay.
supposing I give a project today. Earlier, we would give them a project and wait for 6 weeks for them to submit.
Okay.
Whether it's or 4 weeks or whatever, depending upon. In some cases, it could be 1 week. A mini project you give them and 1 week time to.
Yeah.
And they would slog it out and say, I need 1 more day's time. That story would go on.
Yes.
But today, they just have to use AI, and within probably few minutes in some cases, in an hour or so, you have a project ready.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they submit the project. The point is, where is the learning happening? Is it your own thinking? Have you done any analysis? most students, I'm sorry to say, probably under the pressure to submit, they tend to just get these reports and submit. So my argument to this is, I think the faculty's role is now becoming a lot more, tougher.
Yes.
So you just can't take the report and correct it. You need to have a viva. Catch them, because if it's just a downloaded version of AI helping them in a mini project,
Yeah.
pull them up with questions, and questions need not be straight.
Yes.
Okay, always you can application oriented questions. If you have not done your homework, you can never answer.
Yeah.
So there you're taking care. When I say this, the bad part of
Yeah.
Having said that, I think there are a lot of good things also. Take marketing as a course or a profession.
Okay.
A lot of things can be captured. You feed consumer data
Okay.
today. It helps you to identify what could be the needs and wants of the consumer. You can comfortably capture consumer experiences.
Okay.
You can capture, potential consumers. How to retain, the retention with respect to the consumers.
Yes.
All these are enormous learning for a student who just feeds the data into the system, and it gives you a lot of, so which means it sets their mind to think. Okay, I gave some data, but then the data is giving me these options, which means somewhere it forces them to think. One, yes, there's a ready-made answer, but on the other side, what you had not thought of, it is showing. So that's one amazing. It probably prompts them to get involved, learn, probably do a lot more serious work on the net to capture more data, analyze and so on. The other side, on the academic administrative side, when you have 500 students or whatever, it depends upon the various institutes, timetable itself is a big challenge, because you have some 6 specializations.
Okay.
Okay, most places have 5 or 6 specializations, and drawing up timetable is not a joke.
Yes.
I have personally experienced it. My team would tell me, ma'am, I need 3 days time to prepare the timetable. For how many days? For 1 month.
Oh, wow.
If it's for the entire term, they would need more time.
More time, yeah.
Today, you feed the data, give the courses, the subject, the number of credits. If you say 30 hours and each session is 1 hour 30 minutes, and add as many variables as possible,
You get an answer.
5 minutes, you have the timetable ready for the entire term.
Wow.
So, administratively, it's also adding value.
Okay.
Okay. So, when it comes to technology, yes, it has come a long way. Today, we are talking about hybrid models. You have classroom sessions, online sessions.
Yes.
Both being relevant, personalized learning processes becoming a reality.
Yes.
Right? And augmented reality and virtual realities are also today. I think, I'm sure you would have experienced, many would have experienced. Today, if somebody wants to buy something online, all they have to do is give their, probably if I want to paint my house, just feed the data with respect to some pictures, and it will give me options. I'm seeing how my house looks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
So, these augmented and virtual realities are making learning very interesting. In fact, Tim Cook,
Okay.
CEO Apple, says, augmented reality and virtual realities are here to stay. He says it's as important and as necessary as 3 meals of our day. So that is the reality. Technology keeps changing and growing.
Yeah.
We need to accept it and mold it to the needs.
It has been such a wonderful time talking to you. And before we wrap up, there's one last question that I would want to ask you. What is it that you have this platform, if you want to say something out to the youngsters there, what is that one thing that you would want to tell them?
Be hungry to learn, and the world will be yours.
Oh, that's a good punchline. Um, I think I have learned since the time we started the podcast, I have learned so much and incorporated so much. And the hunger for learning, I think, has grown with every single podcast of talking to so many wonderful women out there. Thank you so much, Dr. Gayathri, for sitting with us today and having a chat. It was such a wonderful session. Not only that, I have spoken to people from the corporate world, but from a world that is completely different from where all of us have stemmed out of. It's interesting that, it works almost on the same lines and there are all the same challenges and risks. But I think you've handled them so well. And this is something for all of us to learn from.
Thank you so much, Deepashree. Thanks to you and your entire team. Thanks to Vinyas. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and see you all on the next episodes of VinTalks.